opening song, My Soul is Welcome Here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Thank you. Please be seated.
All right. It's wonderful to see you all here. Genesis is a community dedicated to love, inspiring harmony, and creating connections to empower spiritual growth. And we love that you are here to share with us. My name is Randy Singer, and I will be your host this morning. Our online host today is Cal, and I will be your host this morning. Redundancy department. Yeah, so, okay. Please read with me our mission and vision statements. Mission. We are building...
Go ahead and memorize. Pause. Let keep going.
All right. I should have looked. We'll see next time. Mission. We are building a vibrant community, cultivating a garden of spiritual growth, honoring vulnerability, creating a safe space for comfort and peace, where we all are welcome and accepted. Vision. Genesis is a bright beacon with an unshakable heart of love, accepting all. A home for the soul where we each creatively express our spiritual brilliance. All right. So, for announcements, you can find details on the website and social media. And now I will give you a full page of glory for the wonderful announcements. Okay, coming soon, our winter class facilitated by Cynthia Zink, practitioner. The Power of Your Word will begin January 18th and end March 7th from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. via Zoom. This experiential course teaches the fundamentals of prayer. Registration is now open online. Visit our website at genesiscsl.org. Click on Learning Opportunities and sign up. For more information, grab a flyer or see Cynthia. Monday, 12/18, Healers and Hunters Men's Group from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Join Dave Panic, practitioner, and Jim Monson for a Genesis Men's Group. Genesis Men's Group is a place where men get together, connect with each other, and share what is going on in their lives. If you're interested in joining in, see Dave Pennick and davepenick01@gmail.com or Jim Monson, jgmonson@gmail.com. All right, Gmail. 3, our Genesis Center for Spiritual Living. We encourage you to think about contributing to our continued growth and well-being by recommitting to a pledge into the year to come. We are immensely grateful for your generosity. Together, we are building a community that thrives on connection, oneness, spiritual fulfillment, and mutual support. Pledge cards are available with your prayer cards, and they look like one of these. Best day ever. We used to have the t-shirts.
And buttons.
If we still have them, yeah. All right. Come and be part of our Christmas Eve service and potluck celebration next Sunday, December 24th. Bring your preferred dish or delightful dessert to contribute to the festive atmosphere. This is a unique occasion for us to relish delicious treats and coffee and relish and participate in meaningful conversations and strengthen our connections with one another. All right, so 5, book study. We'll meet after service and the community connection. It is canceled. Book study is canceled. You're talking behind my back in front of my face, you know, it's just like, okay.
How was the practitioner meeting?
Sounds like Richard Morris.
We're all canceled.
All right.
That's today or next Sunday?
Today.
Today.
And also next Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Wednesday intention circles will end soon and a new chapter of service will begin. Stay tuned for more to come. Catch Intention Circle this Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. via Zoom. Karen L. Williams, practitioner, and Cynthia Zink, practitioner, will be leading. And finally, as if you haven't had enough, okay. Science of Mind textbook of the year. Practitioner Karen Williams is following a guide to read the entire Science of Mind textbook in 1 year. It's almost done. Every day you will find posted in her Facebook page, Karen L. Williams, RSCP, and the Genesis family page. Please follow along to get all of the spiritual Ernest Holmes teachings. And then we'll wind it up for the year, and then there'll be something new next year, and that'll be awesome. Okay, so do we have any first-time guests? All right.
Nope.
All right. So I will go over that part. If anyone is watching online, you want to go on our website, genesiscsl.org, just let us know. Let's now, for the fun part, as if it wasn't all fun, let's stand up and take a moment to greet each other for a few minutes here.
How are you?
Off to a good start.
Yeah, that's right. See him where that's
My name on it. So that's all we can.
Okay. So now let's, I'll take a little time to give some thanks here for our setup and early morning crew. Got Eric, Mike, Cal, Gideon, Anna, and Soren. On our morning greeter is Christine. On projector and video, we've got Eric and Mike. Offering collection, we've got Gideon. Sound tech, we've got Soren. Our online host today is Cal. Cal. Our service practitioner is Dave, and our musicians are Jal and a couple youngsters, Jessica and ChristineEss Young. Yes. So after service, if you, Dave will be the practitioner today, and so he'll be available for prayer after service if you're interested. So now, let us stand and sing our centering song, Breathe and Turn Within.
How are y'all doing today? Ooh, good morning. Good morning, Karen. Come on in. I'll just call you out. Sorry. Because I wanted to give, and I'll give you a shout out too. So that was great timing on that one. So today's reading, moving, woohoo, comes from a book that Karen has so blessed to honor us in guiding us through, along with Cynthia, the Universal Christ. And I've been just so honored to be a part of that and to guide you with that today. And so our today's reading is about oneness and wholeness. And so I really appreciate that we've been reading this, because the passage that we just read recently just spoke right to that. So I was like, awesome. And I love when Spirit calls out in this. I doubt if you can see the image of God in your fellow humans if you cannot first see it in rudimentary form in stones, in plants and flowers, in strange little animals, in bread and wine, and most especially cannot hear this objective divine image in yourself. It's a full body tune-up. This spiritual journey, it really ends up being all or nothing. Here and then everywhere. Let us pray. And so taking that in, taking those words in, I recognize that divine presence of Spirit, the divine energy, that love, that compassion, that wholeness, and that oneness that is God, that is Spirit, and that most truly is us. All of us. We are all a part of that one Spirit. We are all a part of that one connection. We are all a part of that one wholeness. And I recognize and I realize and I absolutely appreciate that we are a part of that spirit and energy that we can see in everything and everywhere. In the lights outside, in those beautiful Christmas lights, in the little stone pathways, in the cool crisp mornings, in that sun in the sky. We can see God's presence everywhere. That truly is the essence of allness and wholeness and oneness and love that is us. And I recognize and realize that we can see that in this Christmas season. We can see this in the holiday season, and that we can see that beauty in each other. Let's just breathe that in. We can see that in each other, in ourselves, in each other. And we recognize it in ourselves, and we see it in all and everything that we can do. That is the beauty. That is the beauty of us, the beauty of this teaching. And so may we shine our light. May we shine our presence. May we shine that beauty of who we are in all that we do. And so I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this community and all that we do. I'm so grateful for everyone here today. I'm so grateful for the love that we can shine into this world, and grateful for our presence and who we are, knowing that we truly make a difference in this world. I release these words into that light, into that love of law, knowing that it is so. I call it good. I call it God, because it truly is always all God. And so it is. And so with that, I will invite to the stage ChristineEss Young, who's already here, and Jill Feldman.
Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. Fun for all the children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air. Carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes, and love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere. Christmas time is here. Families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such a spirit through the year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here. Families drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year.
Thank you, ChristineEss. That was so wonderful and appropriate. One of my friends, when they first put on the Charlie Brown Christmas special, said, "At last, it's something for us. We don't have to, we're not stuck with all that stuff that they like." So it feels very personal. I can still feel his excitement at getting to hear that. So this week we're coming up to solstice. Solstice is on this upcoming Thursday. It's actually at 7:27 p.m., which is sort of interestingly specific, but it's because it's astronomical, and there's a point where the Earth's tilt starts changing. And when it hits the maximum tilt, it starts tilting back. And the maximum tilt is at 7:27 p.m. this Thursday. It's interesting because so solstice marks astronomical winter, but weather winter, the kind of winter we're experiencing, the weather people generally say all of December, January, and February are winter. They're winter months. Those are the coldest months. I've actually heard people push it back into November because of all the rain we get in November, but then we have too many winters to contend with. So it's nice that we're already partway into winter because we know it, and that the solstice, it's interesting. One of the things I like doing is when you watch sunrises and sunsets day after day, you notice that as we march towards solstice, the sun marches south, and it's a little farther south every day. Last year, Christy and I spent Christmas in Mexico, and we got to watch the sun going south every day, and there was an island, and we were betting on whether it would make it all the way to the island or not. It came close. And then in the summer, you get to see it go way north. The ancient Celts talked about this in terms of the holly king and the oak king. And if you've been in the woods, you'll notice that holly blooms bright red berries at this time of year. It's, everything else thinks it's cold. It's like, this is perfect for me. And so for the Celts, holly represents the long dark days, quiet times, contemplation, slowing down and enjoying, things. And then the Oak King sort of comes to being in the summer. The Oak King is about our more yang states. It's about being active. It's about being bright. It's about tremendous growth. And so we see the Celts would talk about, they'd have a festival to celebrate, the holly king keeps waxing and waxing and waxing. And this is, if you look at the yin yang symbol, this is the Oak King taking a stand and saying, now it's my turn. and we'll get gradually warmer over the next 6 weeks of winter, 3 months astronomically, and then moving into the spring. The ancient Celts also celebrated the Yule this time of year. We hear about Yule time, and this was what they called it. Yule referred to some of the Celtic gods, but they actually had their god Odin was the head of the gods, and Odin went around in an ox cart, and he would give presents to little kids. Like, this was 3,000 years ago, so 1,500 years before St. Nicholas was born. Odin was giving gifts to kids who left their shoes out at the door. And Odin represents, that part of us, the wise part of us, the part that knows the nature, lives in eternity and knows the nature of the universe. Odin is depicted with one eye missing. And what they say is he traded his eye for the knowledge of eternity. I think what it reflects is metaphorically that it's the two paths. I always talk about us walking two paths. We are embodied spirit. We're practicing embodied spirituality. We are completely creatures of the earth, and we are also fully spirit. And Odin reflects that on his face. He said, I got one eye looking in and one eye looking out. Luckily, we figured out where we can have both eyes looking out and also see in. Our heart's our organ of spiritual vision. But Odin was more of a thinker than a feeler. Odin's son, it's spelled Thor, but it's pronounced Tor, which I know because Christy's son is named Tor after. This is the god that represents passion in our lives. He's full of feeling, but he knows he also lives in eternity and knows nothing but love for all of us. Tor in the ancient Celtic and Norse legends was always looking out for humans. And what he did at Christmas time, he had a herd of goats. And have anybody seen goats, how playful they are, and they jump up and down? And the elves would ride the goats with gifts to give to people. And so this is something else that happened 1,500 years before St. Nick was born, was Tor's goats were carrying elves around with gifts for everybody. My son's an archaeologist in Hawaii, but he studied at Western Washington, so he knows, and in Ireland. He talks about shamans in Lapland, because you guys have probably seen the Amanita muscaria mushrooms, the bright red with white dots all over it. It's psychoactive, but it's also very dangerous. They're better psychoactive mushrooms for people, but reindeer really love them. So the reindeer in Lapland would eat the amanitas that would come up around this time of year, and then they would prance around and they'd jump and fly. They were said to be flying. And the Lapland shamans would wear red and white suits and go around. I don't think they were giving away gifts. They were giving away mystical knowledge. But that's a gift. It really transforms the way you see the world. Lapland, by the way, is it's the far north part of Finland, Sweden, and Norway. And not many people live there, but the people who live there love the cold, and they get enough Amanita muscaria for their reindeer. So that's sort of an early vision of the solstice celebrations, the Yule. So when you hear about Yuletide, you can think about Odin in his ox cart and Thor sending out his goats with elves, all bent on our happiness. We have a nativity here too. Actually, before the nativity, I want to address people at home. What I want to say is, when you come to church, oxytocin is the chemical of connection. Whenever you connect with people, when you look at them, when you touch them, when you talk with them, you get a burst of this enzyme, this chemical that brings a feeling of connection, of love, of happiness, of joy. This is one of the reasons we love going to church, is you get it almost automatically. You'd have to work very hard not to get it in this church. At home, it's more work. And some people say you can't get it, but I know, because we've been doing hybrid classes and Zoom classes for years, the way you get that dose of oxytocin, which is, you're right, is by interacting with somebody online. So if you're on Facebook, if you make a comment, if you comment on somebody else's comment, if you interact with somebody in any way, you'll notice, if you pay attention, you'll notice that dose of oxytocin. You'll notice the feeling of connection. And so I encourage you to do that. And we can try and experiment. If you're looking at this not in real time, but at another time, and you make a comment, you can see if you get, I bet you'll still get one, a dose of oxytocin, if you comment on somebody's comment or make your own comment. I think you still get that. You just get it sort of at a different time. It's time shifted, but that's okay, because we live in eternity as well as in time. This is a nativity that blessed my family's home for many years. My kids loved to play with it. And now it's time. I think we're letting it go. I think Cynthia is going to take it. So it has a new home. But I wanted to point out we were talking about the metaphysics of the nativity. And we're also going to talk about just exploring the nature of everything. That Henry Miller, the famous American writer, says, "The moment one gives close attention to anything, even a blade of grass, it becomes mysterious, awesome, and indescribably magnificent." So today we're going to pay close attention to the gifts of the wise men. And they had 3 gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And myrrh represents eternity. That is our creative selves. That's the presence of God in us, as us, in our spiritual center, in our spiritual womb, which is in the belly area. And then frankincense represents beauty. And so that represents the presence of God in our hearts. Our hearts are organ of spiritual vision, and where we feel the love, where we feel the connection. And then the gold is our prosperity. The gold is in our head center. And that represents, God as thinking, God as how we know we're taken care of, we know we're abundant, we know that this gold is the sure knowledge that we are looked out after as we look out for other people. We have the resources, we have the substance. And so when you see the nativity, each one of these nativity characters has different meanings. It has overlaying meanings. I think there really was, 2,000 years ago, I think magi, wise men, maybe astrologers from the east came, attracted by the Star of Bethlehem, to visit baby Jesus and brought gifts. And the gifts have a mystical, metaphorical meaning, and probably the wise men were aware of what kind of meaning would be imbued to these gifts. And so they were giving them not only for the beauty of the frankincense and for the practicality of the gold, but for the symbolism and the gift of that. The gold, of course, was very practical because after the wise men gave them gold, they all got dreams. The wise men and Joseph got dreams saying, it's time to move to Egypt before Herod gets you. And they said, this will come in handy. So it was helpful on their part. So that's the Yule, that's the Nativity. Ernest Holmes said, the spark which burns at the center of our own soul is caught from the living and eternal flame of spirit. So our charge then is to recognize and express this divine spark of wholeness. And I want to give a one-sentence affirmation. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me. So I'll say, we can try to say it together. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me. One more time. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me. And at this point, I'd like us to do a Tai Chi where we can feel the spirit growing. So let's, mostly I think you want to stand up to do this one. If it's hard for you to stand, you can probably do it mostly sitting. And you want to make sure to sort of offset, because at one point you're going to have your arms out and spinning. So you want to make sure you don't hit anybody. Okay, so we start at our spiritual center in our bellies, and this is where the eternity is. This is where the myrrh is. This is where our identity as God is. And we feel an idea. We feel a spark. We feel the creativity moving and moving and moving until it grows and grows and grows, and it bursts forth. And then it gets caught by the water, by our emotion, by our feelings. And the motion takes it and brings it down into us, down through us, and down into the earth. And in the earth, it transforms the earth. It transforms it, and we take the transformed earth up into ourselves, and then we grow. We grow branches, and we look around us, and we see all the wonderful things in the world. And anything we're interested in, we take into us. We study, we practice, we talk to the people, and then we make it a part of us. And anything we no longer need, we release. And then we embrace the tiger that is our life so far and return to the mountaintop where we never left. Let's do that one more time. So here we go. We're in our womb, in our creative state. We are listening to, we are being the voice of God until the energy builds up, until it jumps forth. And then our feelings take it and grab it and are transformed by it, bring it back through our body into the ground where the ground is transformed, and we pull up the transformed earth into us, and then we start growing and branching out. And then we look at the world, we see all the wonderful people, we see all the wonderful practices, and anything we're interested in, we learn about, we practice, we go to webinars, and then we start making it a part of ourselves. And then anything we no longer need, we release. And then we embrace the tiger that is our life so far, cuddly and fierce, and return to the mountaintop where we've never left. Okay, thank you. So this is just, as we see the world, this week's, we are an integral, vital part of our world. We are a force for good. We are part of this with all our aspects of God, with all our faces of God. Teddy Roosevelt during a tough time in his administration, had a practice. When a tough day would end, Roosevelt would take members of his staff and they'd walk outside and they'd search the night sky until they found the great square of Pegasus. And Roosevelt would then recite the same lines. He'd point to Pegasus and he'd say, "This is the spiral galaxy in Andromeda. It's as large as our Milky Way. It's one of 100 million galaxies. It consists of 100 billion stars even larger than our own." And then Roosevelt would smile and say, "Now I think we can handle our problems. Let's go to bed." He just needed to take them in perspective. And I think Dacher Keltner is a professor at UC Berkeley who heads the lab. I think it's called the Study for the Science of Good. And he teaches us about the power of awe and wonder. And if you haven't experienced, the experience they compared for the experiment was they had some people find something they were proud of and feel real pride in their work. And this is important, to feel pride in your work. It helps with your self-esteem. It helps you, appreciate what's good about your life and the world and your abilities. And then he had other people go into nature and feel awe, find some giant tree or some part of nature where they just felt at one with nature and a small part of a large universe. And these people, actually, it turns out they felt even better than the people who thought about their wonderful deeds. Feeling like part of the universe and noticing that we are part of the universe, that we're an integral part of the universe, is something that makes people happier, more relaxed, more powerful, more resilient, and really helps you move as part of the world. And this is one of the things I think we find in this church community. So many people are pitching in. We are part of a bigger oneness. I mean, we're part of a whole giant Center for Spiritual Living movement. And then in the church, we're part of this beautiful Genesis church that's been in existence for so long. And then we're all taking our pieces of it and working together for that. So this is part of this week's message is, we are all a part of the whole, and when we appreciate when we allow ourselves to feel awe, when we allow ourselves to feel wonder at that whole, at that wholeness, then it builds our resilience, it builds our happiness, it builds our capability of being everything that we can be. So, I don't usually talk about God this way, but bear with me for a minute. God is talking to one of the angels and says, "Do you know what I've just done? I've created a 24-hour period of alternating light and darkness on earth. Isn't that good?" The angel says, "Yes, but what will you do now?" God said, "I think I'll call it a day." It's definitely a dad joke. Yeah, that doesn't really go anywhere, except we have very short days now and long nights, but that's because the Holly King has been getting its space, and now the Oak King is going to start getting more sunlight. Howard Thurman said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. What the world needs is people who have come alive." This is a very popular quote for many years. I've seen it attributed to all kinds of people who aren't Howard Thurman, so I wanted to make sure you knew he was the original source for it. And I want to talk about some people, local people who are making a difference in the world. There are 4 Port Townsend high school students who call themselves the Sea Dragons. And they joined the STEM is for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Club at Port Townsend High School. And they started working on robotics. And they built themselves an ocean rover. And over 4 years in high school, they built this ocean rover that could go underseas. It could go up to 200 feet down, and it could show them what's down there on video, and it could also grab things and bring them back up. And when they were graduating, they were like, what do we do with this? We spent our 4 years of high school building this cool thing. And so they talked to the Jefferson County Marine Resources Committee to get support. And Jefferson County sent out the question, what would you do with this ocean rover? And a local woman said, well, there are a bunch of derelict crab traps. Everybody loves our delicious Dungeness crabs, but some of the traps get sort of lost and stuck at the bottom of the ocean. And what if we fix that? And what they found, there's over 10,000 lost and derelict crab traps trapping over 100,000 Dungeness crabs and other sea life. So what these guys did was they figured out a way to find them. They ran sonar behind a boat where they could look at the bottom of the ocean and identify what was a derelict crab trap. And then once they had the GPS signals, the location of it, they would go down, they'd go in a little boat with their ocean rover, and it would go down and it would see what was going on with the crab traps. Because it turns out if they fail the way they're supposed to, they just open up and they become an artificial reef. And sea urchins land on them, and they make the sea floor like brighter and more prosperous and beautiful. So those ones they left alone. But then they find some where they didn't open properly. They stayed stuck, and they found one with 20 crabs that were trapped in it. When they pulled it up, it was so nice. They have pictures of the 20 crabs, but they all got to go and be free. So as they find the failing crab traps, they're noting what went wrong, because crab traps are supposed to fail gracefully and turn into artificial reefs. They aren't supposed to keep trapping crabs. So they're improving the design of the crab traps. They're improving the instructions that they have for people to use them so that they'll install them in a way that will save the crabs. And they've already recruited robotics teams from 6 other high schools who are going to be building their own ocean rovers and going and rescuing their own Dungeness crabs. And that sounds like such a fun thing. I wish I were back in high school or had a robotics team again so we could go and rescue Dungeness crabs. So this was something, when the kids were doing an ocean rover, they just wanted to do something fun with robotics. They're like, I like programming, I like building robots. What are we going to do? Let's make it swim. Okay. And then once they made it swim, they're like, well, this is so cool, and now we're stuck going to college. Aren't we going to do something fun with this? And then they did, and now 6 other high schools worth of kids are going to do it. And I suspect more and more and more, because this is a technology, it really scales. Every high school robotics team can build an ocean rover if they have an ocean near them. And why not go and get some of that stuff, from the bottom of the sea? So this, I don't know, I was very inspired. And they're called themselves the Sea Dragons. Maybe it seems like a pun, that they're dragging things up from the bottom of the sea. But I bet they wear dragon pins. 2 in 1, that's right. Ernest Holmes talks about God as seen from our heart, sort of the frankincense God, the God sort of beside us. There's a book called Is Your God Big Enough, Near Enough, You Enough for You? And we often focus on the you enough God, the God as you. But the God is also, lots of people have, connect with God, the God beside them, the God, where we are infinite lovingness, and the God is our beloved. And the God in every one of us is our beloved. Ernest Holmes says, the friend within you is infinite, and since it is infinite, it's not limited by previous experiences which you may have had, by either present conditions or passing situations. It has no inherited tendency of evil, lack, or limitation. It's never been caught on the mesh of circumstances. It is at all time radiant, free, and happy. It is your inner absolute and perfect self. The friend within you lives in a state of poise. It is above fear. It is beyond hurt. It is sufficient to itself. There can be no greater unity than exists between you and this inner friend. This inner friend spreads a table before you in the wilderness of human thought. Its cup of joy runneth over. It laughs at disaster, triumphs over human failure, and mocks the grave. When this present experience shall be rolled up like a scroll, it will pass on to new and greater experiences. But today, the friend is here. Trust it then today, and you may trust it for all tomorrows yet to come. Possibly, it may be difficult for you to believe there is such a friend, but it is there at the very center of your being, directing your thought and causing you to triumph over every defeat. For this friend is an unconquerable hero, the one who keeps silent watch within you, lifts your consciousness to the realization that you are forever protected, forever safe, forever perfect. Rusty Schweigert was an astronaut in, he actually became an astronaut in 1963, but he served as the lunar module pilot for Apollo 9. And as he circled the globe, identifying places like Los Angeles, Houston, and North Africa, his process of identifying with the world began to shift. He said, you begin to recognize your identity as with the whole thing. You look down and you can't imagine how many borders you cross. You don't even see them. People killing each other over some imaginary line. But you see it as a whole, and it's so beautiful. You just wish you could take individuals from each side in various conflicts, one in each hand, and say, look at it from this perspective. Look at it from outer space. What is important? Then when Rusty was doing a spacewalk and being in that incredible silence and beauty, he felt like he was a sensing point for humankind. He recognized that we are all a piece of this total life. So I want to have us do a meditation. Jal, if you can help with music. This is different than I usually do, but I was inspired by it. So let's close your eyes and imagine the night sky full of stars. Allow your breathing to become soft. And feel the peace that comes from connecting with that spacious sky, with that vastness. Reflecting on the sure knowledge that the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that the source of all life is also within you. Breathing into your heart, ask that source to reveal itself to you. Ask to feel it, to experience it. Feel the love connection. Feel the stillness and the love and the presence. And say to yourself, from the depth of being, let there be light. Let there be light upon that which yearns to be whole. Let there be light on whatever area of your life where you wish healing, where you wish forgiveness, where you wish guidance, where you see empowerment. Let there be light. Imagine then a star dwelling in your heart. A white star. It looks like the star we see in the depictions of the birth of Christ. The Star of Bethlehem, a circle of shining white light with beams radiating out in all directions. That star is dwelling in your heart. That star is shining in the depths of your being. That star represents the source, the Creator coming into manifestation, being born this night into the world through you. This is the light of divine life. It is that love, wisdom, creative power, and oneness which yearns to move, live, and act in the world. And that creative power does move, live, and act in the world through you, through us, through all of us. This consciousness enters into life, moves and breathes, experiences joy and love. This consciousness chooses to serve and to heal, to communicate and be with others. It chooses to live in this world through every person. Through you, is living through you. You carry the seed of that divine spark within you now. It is being born again within you now. You have the choice, moment by moment, day by day, to birth that consciousness in your heart, in your soul, and in your life. The light of Spirit is our strength, our all, shining brightly, radiating the light of the universe. We touch others with compassion and love, living our life as a divine human vessel. We let our divinity shine forth. We are the light of God. We are a beacon of power showing the way through heaven and earth. And now we can rest in that we always are and always have been. And taking one more deep breath, as you open your eyes, bring your awareness back into this room, into this holy day. So, once again, we remember, as Henry Miller said, the moment one gives close attention to anything, even a blade of grass, it becomes mysterious, awesome, and indescribably magnificent. We can come alive, and we should always be looking for things that make us come alive, because that's what the world needs. You know, we've got sea dragons, high school students who are suddenly saving thousands of crabs. And helping make the bottom of the Salish Sea a more hospitable place for all sea life, as our crab traps fail gracefully and create artificial reefs. We can think about, when we hear about Yule, we can think about the traditions that have merged into our Christmas holiday, that have evolved into our Christmas holiday. We can think about reindeer in Lapland, or goats in Norway, or ox carts. And we can think about holly and how the holly grows this time of year, and then the oak comes as the days get longer. We can think about how we enjoy, how we participate in the winter. You know, do we can we still find enjoyment? Can we still participate? Can we still be part of life in this time of darkness and rain and cold? You know, if we're holly, the answer is heck yeah. If we're oak, the answer is we'll figure it out. So I'm going to ask us to say once again the affirmation from the beginning. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me. My awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me. And one more time, my awareness of my oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides me. So that is us for the season. We can be inspired as we feel the awe, as we feel the inspiration. We get, we know the scientists are doing research, and this makes us even happier than appreciating our wonderful feats. Not that we shouldn't appreciate our wonderful feats, but we should make sure that we give ourselves the opportunity to feel awe and wonder and to appreciate the beauty and the consciousness of everyone. So now it's the time to fill out our prayer cards. And I'm going to encourage you, as I always do. It has two sides. And prayer demonstration is the one I like people to fill out first, because the prayer demonstration is, if you can think about any time, any prayer you ever had fulfilled, writing that down helps make it more concrete, more solid, helps improve your prayer life, because you won't be able to talk yourself out of it. There's part of us that wants to talk us out of it, and we're like, no, this happened, and this, and this, and this. And then on the other side, there's the opportunity for an actual prayer. All of these go to our practitioners who pray over them daily. And so they get empowered, they get transformed and transmuted into group consciousness and inspiritized, if that should be a word. So as we inspiritize our prayers, as we write our prayers, as we concretize our prayers, we know that these prayers are always answered. Is in the form of this or something better. And we never know the exact form in which they'll be answered, but we do know that it will be for our good and for the good of the universe. And so it is.
One little boy in Africa, he put a face on AIDS, told a story to the world till he died, and these are the words he said, do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are, do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are, do all you can. Do all you can. the poor. Somebody asked, why do you do these things? She said, this is what I came here for. She said, do all you can with what you have, and the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, and the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can. Gave to us to share wherever we go. Be the change you wish to see in this world. Now I understand what they wanted us to know. They said, do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can with what you have, in the time you have, in the place you are. Do all you can. Do all you can. One little boy in Africa, do all you can. Holy Mother in India, do all you can. Be the change you wish to see in this world. Do all you can. Do all you can. Do all you can.
All right, let's give another hand for ChristineEss and Jessica. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I gotta say, I've known Jessica for almost her entire life, and I was like giving her a hug today, and I'm like, are you taller than me now? I mean, really? I mean, I don't, if the heels, I get it, but that's, still, I'm just like, wow. Anyway, what a blessing. So right now we'll go into our offering. So our center is supported by God, and we welcome you to be a part of how God's support shows up. If you're on Facebook, you can visit our website at genesiscsl.org, or you can text your tithe to 206-800-7595. Let us take a moment to craft our financial gift. And now I invite you to hold your prayer requests and offering next to your heart as we say our offering blessing together. Or I'll just say it, that's fine. No. right, let's do it. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. All right, you guys are awesome. All right, and then we'll get up and get our collection as we sing our offering song. So please stand.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
And so with open hearts, we receive these gifts, knowing the fruits come forth and do powerful works. We bless the givers, knowing that as we give, we receive tenfold. In deep gratitude, we give thanks, and so it is. Thank you for joining us today. Stand up and join us for fellowship afterwards, and we will sing our closing song with, once again, Jessica and ChristineEss.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Have a great week, everyone.